Well guys, this is my first historic video of 2025. And guys, I have a brand new set model for my collection. The Andrea Doria. So in today's video, I want to talk about the Andrea Doria. So let's see, during one of my last main videos on my channel, I talked about the Andrea Doria, particularly it's got a new ship story. But here's the thing. I had to use my Titanic model for that because I didn't have a model on the Doria yet. But now I do. So I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on the Doria. So let's go right into it. So the Doria was an ocean liner built in Italy. Yeah, and she was built with 3 pools and enough lifeboats for everyone on board. And she was built right about in the 50s, about 1950, and it took them about like 3.5 years to follow the complete schedule. She entered service right about like 1953, and for the next like 3 years, she sailed between ports, mostly between Italy and the United States. Her top speed was about like 50 knots. So on this fateful day, the Doria was sailing this way, and there was another ship called the Stockholm sailing in the other direction. I'm actually going to use one of my other models I have to actually simulate. I'm actually going to use my Titanic model for the Stockholm because I don't have a model of the Stockholm, so I'm using this one. So basically both ships. So the Stockholm was coming from the U.S., which was I believe a Swedish ship. Yeah, everything from the U.S. and the Doria was coming in this one. The Doria was in some fog, and both of them have radar. This is during the early stages of radar. Okay, guys. So both ships kind of knew about each other. Exactly, none of them didn't really communicate. So basically, the Stockholm was the Doria had to kind of slow down because of fog, but most ships kind of collided right here because they didn't really know where each other was. But it's like let's get a look at this. There was 2 lanes, the westbound and eastbound lanes. They were supposed to stick to that, particularly for whatever reason they collided. They collided right behind the Doria's bridge, and Stockholm kind of backed up and kind of disappeared behind the fog, and the Doria immediately started to like dist over. That shouldn't really be possible, because the top in this thing for the Doria was like about 15 degrees, particularly was well past that because like how bad the damage was. So I think she's considered forward with like 3 compartments credit. Look guys, I'm not an expert on the Doria. Titanic, yes, but not really much on the Doria. So the ship, that's over. You see some, look, these type boats couldn't be lowered. These ones, yes, but technically they were spinning out more further. So they had to be lowered, and for passengers, and some software was to climb into them by rope ladders. And some late boats from the Stockholm were lowered to help out as well. Then multiple other ships came to the Doria's aid. And because it was somewhat contained for a while, and it was a fun fact. The captain, he wanted to go down with the ship, but luckily there was a few officers did not want to leave him. So yes, the captain was the last one off the ship. So the Doria kept listening. Then about 8 a.m. the night, right around 1 early morning, it slipped under. It took about like 11 hours for the ship to sink. It's crazy. Here's the thing: Titanic only took 2 hours and 40 minutes to sink. Let it sink in. Yeah. Let it sink in for a second. Because like how badly she was listening, because the water was somewhat contained though in the Doria. So, and there was an inquiry held afterwards to see who was to blame. I was watching a video on the Andrea, which talked a little bit about the inquiry with explosives, but a little bit found fault, mostly because like poor management of like the radar and stuff. And the particularly if you want to dive down to the wreck today, it's one guys, it's kind of dangerous because like where it's sunk, the coins can be unpredictable. Yeah, guys, and guys, this is my first sit video of 2026. So this year I'm gonna post a lot more new sit videos, talking about ships, maybe talking about some like electronic history. I don't know. Well, guys, I'm gonna see you next week for my next week's video. I guess also at some point this month I will post a World Like Shit video. Not this Tuesday, but probably following Tuesday. I don't know. Bye guys. I will see you guys in the next historic video. Bye guys.